everyone. Hi, nice to meet you again. My name is Esther and I make videos concerning businesses, especially the bakery businesses. I'm an entrepreneur, a teacher, not a licensed one though, but a self-acclaimed teacher. And that's because I post videos that help you gain knowledge. Well, you can call it Esther's Masterclass or Esther's Brief. I'm glad to have you here. But before we begin on today's video, kindly help me hit on that like button and leave me a comment so I know that you were here. And do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Okay, so in my last video, I spoke about NAFDAC requirements, the things you need to put in place before you can begin your process with NAFDAC. This is just a continuation, and I felt like there were some things I didn't touch on during the last video. That's why I'm making this video again, just to expatiate more on some things I felt I left behind. And based on the comments that most of you left for me in my comment section, I read through them and then I realized that, okay, there were some questions that people really needed to know about. So that's the reason for this video. I just want to explain further what some of those questions, the answers to some of those questions that were left on my comment section. I appreciate all of you for always coming back. If you're a newbie here, welcome to my channel. And please feel free, ask me any question, leave me a comment, like on the video as usual. I welcome you especially in this knowledge about bakery business. I give you the in-depth knowledge about what really goes on, and if you want to start your bakery business, the kind of things you really need to run with, just to make it easier for you. When I started my business, this knowledge was not out there. It was very difficult. I searched all through the internet to look for things about bakery to even make my starting very easy. It was difficult. So those are one of the motivating factors for me why I started this YouTube channel. I said, okay, based on my experience and based on the knowledge I've been able to get, I said, okay, it would be good if I start a YouTube channel and just pass the message out and give people the knowledge, so it would be easy for them to come into the industry. All right. So in my previous video, I know I spoke about the milling machine, and some people didn't really understand why NAFDAC will be against milling machine. Well, I want to give you one of the reasons why NAFDAC doesn't like milling machine. This machine is used by bakery owners, and most times it causes serious injury. That's one of the reasons why NAFDAC doesn't like milling machine. Unlike the modern, or like the other modern machines, like the mixer, the oven, those ones don't really cause hazard like this milling machine. And another thing is, milling machines are usually, most of the ones I've seen, they are usually locally fabricated. I've not seen a modern one. I'm sure if there was a modern one, it might not really have that hazard effect on the user. So the milling machine is used for kneading bread. Like, it kneads your bread after you bring it out from the mixer. What they do is, when they bring it out from the mixer, they put it into the milling machine. So it kneads that dough. It makes it very soft. I won't lie to you. If you see a bread that was made by that milling machine, Jesus, it's different. Trust me, it's different. It comes out really nice. It's fluffy. It's stretchy. It's soft. Oh my God, you will love the texture of your bread when you use that milling machine. So severally, I've been tempted. I won't lie to you. I've been tempted to use that particular machine severally, but I told myself, why do I want to put myself into trouble when I know that NAFDAC might just show up anytime, and by the time they show up unannounced and they see that machine in my premises, it's going to be a big problem for me. So I decided not to use it. And another thing again, I realized that my mixer is a dual function mixer. It does two functions at the same time. It mixes and it kneads. It mixes and kneads at the same time. So initially, when I bought that particular mixer, I didn't know that it had that function. It was later when I called who supplied that mixer for me. I told them that I needed a milling machine as well. And the guy was like, why do you need a kneading machine when your mixer can knead at the same time? I said, oh, really? He said, yes. So didn't I know that it has two functions? I said, I never knew. So, and that was how he put me through. And he told me that my mixer comes with two functions, that I don't even have to worry. I should just put my flour, my recipe, and the machine will do the rest. It will mix and knead at the same time. That all I need to do is when it's done mixing, just bring it out and cut your dough to the sizes that you want. And that is it. I said, oh wow, that was great. You know, so most mixers that they sell today comes with two functions. It comes with that function. So don't even bother yourself about the milling machine. Don't worry. When you want to buy a mixer, most mixers, ask whoever is selling that mixer to you if the mixer can also mix and knead at the same time. Most mixers that they sell in the market that I have seen, a lot of mixers I've seen in the market today, presently that they sell, comes with that function. They mix and knead at the same time. You know, mixers are different. They have different mixers. There are some mixers that when you're mixing, it mixes, it might just only mix and it will not knead. But most times, I think most of those mixers are even fading out. I hardly see them anymore. Most of the mixers that they sell today currently are mixing and kneading mixer. So don't worry yourself about a milling machine. So now what this kneading machine does is that it stretches the dough, stretches it very well, gives you that very soft and fluffy fluffy dough that you really love. So even if you're not a bread lover, trust me, if you see a bread that was kneaded by that milling machine, oh my God, to chop bread go dey hungry you. That's the truth. To eat bread, you feel like eating bread. There's no bread. If you see that bread on the shelf, even if you came into that shop and it wasn't bread that brought you to that supermarket or the shop wherever they are selling that particular bread, you'll be tempted to buy it because the outlook, the texture is fantastic. Now, the reason why NAFDAC doesn't like it because it's very dangerous to use. You have to be well experienced to use that particular machine because there's a way it goes. When you put your dough into the milling machine, there's a way you have to keep using your hand to assist the dough go under the milling machine. And then you have to put your hand, there's a way you put your hand to bring it out again and put it back in. You keep doing it like that. You bring it out, you put it back in. You bring it out, you put it back. And it's very dangerous because you could actually cut your hand. That thing can cut your hand. Honestly, you can lose a finger. I've seen, well, I've not really seen, but I've heard of people that lost their hands, their fingers to milling machine. So, and then by the time it injures you, your blood spills and now mistakenly enters into the dough that people will eat, the bread that people will eat. It's not nice. That's the reason why NAFDAC say they don't want to see it anywhere in anybody's bakery. That they don't want to see it at all. So NAFDAC frowns against it. So please avoid milling machine. Even if you're well experienced, NAFDAC does not like it. So why put yourself into trouble? Do you understand? Even if you have someone that is well experienced in using it, why put yourself into that? Except you want to be hiding to use it. You will hide and use it. So I know some people, what they do is they will hide to use it. When they are done using it, they will take it away from their business premises. It's only when they want to use it that they bring it out. You know, unless you have energy for that to be doing that. And that machine is heavy. It's not something you'll be taking out, taking in, except if you are capable, fine. Right? So that I knew I didn't touch on this area the last time I did a video. So that's why I needed to come back to explain further. Okay, so now that's for the milling machine. Another point I forgot to tell you guys the last time was about the NAFDAC number. Now, you see that particular NAFDAC number. If you have different types of bread, say you have different recipes for different kind of bread. You're making coconut bread, you're making cinnamon bread, you're making banana bread, right? And you make the normal bread, the normal white bread that you see outside that people buy. All this kind of bread have different recipes. It's not the same type of recipe that you use. So NAFDAC will ask you for all the different recipes for the types of bread you want to be making. They will ask you how many types of bread do you want to make. Let's say, for example, you say, oh, I want to make three types of bread. They ask you, what are the types of bread? You say, I want to make coconut bread. I'll be making coconut bread. I'll be making banana bread. I'll be making the white bread or the cinnamon bread. They'll tell you, okay, list the recipe for this type of bread. By the time you're done listing this recipe, bear it in mind that these types of bread you want to make comes with different NAFDAC number. They don't have the same NAFDAC number. They will come with different NAFDAC number. And the charges to register these different kinds of bread, the charge will be higher than someone who came in to register just a particular type of bread. If you come in and say, oh, I want to register 3 types of bread, and I come and I say I want to register just one, just the white bread, the normal white bread. For example, my fee will be cheaper than yours because yours now you're registering like 3 types of bread. Right? Good. And they're all, the 3 of them will have different NAFDAC number. You cannot use the same NAFDAC number that you're using for your white bread for your coconut bread or your cinnamon bread. Do you understand? So I just wanted to let people know that when you go to NAFDAC number and you tell them you want to register 3 types of bread, it means that you'll be paying higher, you'll be paying more, and it comes with 3 different kinds of NAFDAC number. Now, if you come in and say, oh, I just want to register 1 type of bread, but different sizes, say the small bread size, the big bread size, and let's say the jumbo size bread. This size of bread is still the same NAFDAC number you use for all of them because it's just one recipe you'll be using for these 3 sizes of bread. So it's just one NAFDAC number that NAFDAC will give to you when you want to register the same type of bread but different sizes. So on your bread wrap, is that one number that NAFDAC gives you for your white bread that you came in to register that you will put on the wrap of your different sizes of bread. Your small bread size will have the same number, your medium size bread will have the same number, your jumbo size bread will have the same number, your family size bread will have the same number. So the only thing that they will tell you is that on your letterhead, you should just tell them how many types of bread will you be making and what are the sizes of bread you want, because they want to know all that. So bear it in mind. If you're making different types of bread, you will list the different types of bread and the recipes you're going to use for these different types of bread. They're all going to have different account numbers. If it's one type of bread you want to be making, but different sizes, you just list only the recipe for that particular kind of bread, and it comes with only one number. And obviously, the price is cheaper. You're only paying for only one recipe. But if it's 3 different recipes, you're paying for the 3 different recipes. Although, I think the difference is not so much though, but you have to let NAFDAC know about it. Okay, so another thing again I didn't touch on in my last video was your registration of business premises. If, for example, NAFDAC has given you your NAFDAC number for a particular premises that you have registered with them, that is where you want to be doing your business, or that's where your business will be taking place in. If for a reason you decide to change location, you have to come to NAFDAC office and let them know that you have changed your business premises, and they will have to come for another inspection. Your NAFDAC number still remains. They're not going to change your NAFDAC number, but you need to let them know about the change in business premises. Why do you have to let them know? Because they will need to know if that premises has been fumigated. Do you understand? And they need to know that the environment where you're doing this business is not so close to where humans stay. Yes, it can be in the same compound. You can be doing the bakery business in the same compound where you live. But like I told you in my last video, it just be like a metal barricade or whatever, or even a plastic barricade. But you have to separate that business premises from your main house. So these were some of the things I said, let me let you guys know. And I'll still be touching on some other things as I remember them. So please, guys, I hope you have gained something as usual. Please leave me a comment, hit on the like button, and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Till I see you again in my next video. Bye for now. I love you guys. Bye.